This is Valley News Live at 5.
Breaking news for you this evening on a shooting that happened outside a strip club in Devil's Lake last weekend. Formal charges have now been filed in the case. Mauricio Colindres has been charged with attempted murder, aggravated assault, and reckless endangerment. Alex Sparra is listed as an accomplice in the case. The Ramsey County Sheriff, Steve Nelson, says one man was shot in the leg and multiple other rounds were fired into Wally's Roadhouse and Gentlemen's Club. New for you now at 5. A 19-year-old is now being sentenced for trying to derail a train last year. 19-year-old Skylar Goodman will spend 4 days in jail, followed by 3 years of supervised release. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office, Goodman placed a device on the track that's usually used to get trains back on the tracks. However, they can also cause a train to derail. The Attorney's Office says derailers or re-railers are usually painted yellow so railroad workers can spot them, but the one discovered on the track was spray painted black. 2 people are now behind bars after running from police in a stolen vehicle. Just before 1 this afternoon, police learned that a minivan was stolen off the 100 block of Minnesota Avenue. Officers found the car headed east on Highway 2 and started to follow it. The van took off at a high rate of speed, evading police attempts to stop it. It eventually ran into a ditch near the intersection of Hubbard County Road 38 and 63rd Avenue. Police in Fargo and Moorhead say since January 1st, there have been over 100 catalytic converter thefts, but no one is in custody yet. And now a new Minnesota law is aiming to crack down on those thieves, making it illegal to sell or possess used converters not attached to a car. Tonight on Valley News Live at 6, hear from a man who says he recently had 4 converters stolen off his vehicles and why both he and police are hoping North Dakota lawmakers propose a similar bill. We are rolling into the weekend feeling pretty good. Today is nice and the next couple days look even better. First, let's look at this evening. Hey, Hutch.
Hello, Andrea. Hello, everyone. And our weather is absolutely delightful. And we've come a long ways this week, have we not? Temperatures today peaking in the teens in Fargo, Grand Forks, Grafton, 20s in Carrington and Jamestown and Point South, and a lot of teens across Minnesota. The cool spot today, Fosston, with a temperature that peaked at 10. If you are heading to the Bison game this weekend, we'll be tracking some snow in the forecast, mainly to the south, and it begins late Saturday night into your Sunday midday. So if you're traveling from the south and east, it does look like that's where the best chance of snow will be, and some could see measurable snow as we go through the weekend. Here's a quick look at the track of that late Saturday night into Sunday, and then throughout the day on Sunday, hit and miss showers of snow exit Minnesota. How much snow? Right now, and this could change, a trace to 3 inches, with the measurable stuff being in our far southern counties. Most of us just getting a few flakes out there. For tonight, beautiful and quiet, and temperatures staying above zero. I'll have hour-by-hour details on what you can expect for the entirety of your weekend and beyond here, Andrea, in a few moments.
Thanks, Hutch. And speaking of that game, we are only 2 days away as the Bison prepare to take on Youngstown State on Sunday for their first game of the spring season. The Farmers Union Insurance pregame show starts at 1:30, taking you all the way up to kickoff at 2:30. You can catch the action on KVLY on Sunday. 3 people are now in jail after authorities recovered 2 stolen snowmobiles and a trailer. Yesterday, the Clay County Sheriff's Office contacted Polk County about those items being stolen from the Glendon area. One snowmobile was found in Monoman County. The other snowmobile and trailer were found at a home in McIntosh. Matthew Bierman, Timothy Donarski, and Wayne Turner were arrested. Members of the White House COVID-19 response team held a press conference today where the coronavirus advisor says the U.S. has a backlog of vaccines due to severe weather. He called on states, sites, and vaccinators to do their part to get things back on track. CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky spoke about a report released by the CDC on the vaccine safety monitoring program. Also, Dr. Anthony Fauci provided a roadmap on when we can expect vaccine data on high school-aged children.
We anticipate data on high school age individuals, namely individuals 12 years old to 17 years old, by the beginning of the fall. Maybe not exactly coinciding with the first day of school, but sometime in the fall, we will have that.
Also, the CDC director says severe reactions such as anaphylaxis are still considered to be rare. As high school students of Moorhead Public Schools begin transitioning back to in-person learning 5 days a week starting March 8th, the district breaks down their plans to keep students and staff safe. Valley News Team's Brian Sherrod has more.
Moorhead Public Schools District provides their back-in-person safety plan as high schoolers return back to in-person learning in a couple of weeks. The pre-K through 8th graders have already returned to in-person learning. 9th graders will come back to in-person learning 4 days a week beginning February 25th. Now, to keep students and staff safe, all face coverings are mandatory. Staff is encouraging families to do the at-home screenings before entering the school's doors. Staff is also providing rigorous cleaning and sanitation practices. The district has invested in indoor air quality units. These devices are used to bring in at least 20% of outdoor air, even during winter months, to make sure they have good circulation. Carbon dioxide is being measured in classrooms. 225 needlepoint ionization devices have been installed across Moorhead Public Schools. Now, the district also says they will provide vaccination opportunities for staff as it becomes available. Bi-weekly testing will also be provided. Brian Sherrod, Valley News Live.
The state of Minnesota is marking a major milestone with more than 1 million doses of the COVID vaccine administered. Nearly 730,000 people have gotten at least one dose of the vaccine, and nearly 287,000 have received both doses. On average, the governor's office says the state is giving out close to 30,000 doses a week. Fargo Cass Public Health is reminding folks over 65 that they can get their COVID-19 vaccine now. The health department wants to make sure the most high-risk people in our communities have a chance to get the vaccine before they take on additional groups. If you live in Cass County and are in any of the Phase 1B priority groups, you can fill out the contact form on the Fargo Cass Public Health website. You can also call the health department at the number on your screen. And you can stay on top of the latest vaccine news on our VNL Vaccine Tracker. Just open your phone camera and point it at the QR code on your screen. You can then tap the link that pops up to see all the latest information on the vaccine. We also have the link on our homepage. From the start of the pandemic, there were predictions of a baby boom, with many couples stuck at home and little else to do. But as it turns out, in some cases, the pandemic and economic struggles have led some Americans to hold off on family planning. Naomi Ruckham explains why the country is experiencing a baby boom and a baby bust all at the same time.
When the pandemic hit, Jen Surma and her husband thought about waiting to expand their family.
I think it was just really the unknowns of COVID at the time that had us kind of take a pause and think about if this was the right thing to do.
But wanting their children to be close in age, they decided to try and got pregnant with baby number 2.
It's been good from kind of has slowed life down and made it a little bit more comfortable.
Jen is part of what some hospitals in the U.S. are seeing as a baby boom, including Community Hospital North in Indianapolis, where deliveries are up 30% compared to this time last year and are expected to spike to 70% by March.
I think on one shift I delivered 8 babies in a day, so it was a busy day, but it's kind of great.
Hospitals in Kentucky, Tennessee, and Illinois have also reported more births. And while pockets of the country are seeing many more bumps like mine, analysts predict nationwide the pandemic is more likely to cause a baby bust.
It's a stressful time that we live in. Stress is not great for thinking like, gee, I'd like to have a baby right now.
In an estimate published by the Brookings Institute, economics professor Philip Levine predicts the pandemic will result in 300,000 fewer births.
There's issues with daycare, school closings, relationship formation.
For Jen, a pandemic pregnancy has been anything but ordinary.
It's kind of hit me more recently that it's just going to be a really interesting story to tell him.
And now that he's arrived, it's one for the history books this growing family won't soon forget. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
The birth rate in the U.S. was on the decline before the pandemic, and if the trend continues, some experts worry this could lead to a shrinking workforce and economy. We are getting an up-close look at Mars just one day after NASA's Perseverance rover landed on the red planet. This image shows the rover being lowered onto the Martian surface. NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter snapped another picture showing Perseverance on its way to the landing site. Once there, cameras on the rover sent back high-resolution photos, including the very first color image from the surface of Mars. Scientists are now studying that photo and others to determine the type of rocks that have formed over the years.
The team is overwhelmed with excitement and joy to have successfully landed another rover on the surface of Mars. This rover is an epic effort. It represents 8 years of hundreds of engineers at the laboratory, thousands around the world, a total of over 4,000 human years of investment.
Perseverance endured a 7-month journey from Earth to Mars. It will now gather data and samples for scientists to explore. Students at Lewis and Clark Elementary are patting themselves on the back after breaking the record for the most stuffed animals collected for the homeless. These first graders collected 195 new stuffed animals. Representatives from Essentia Health and Churches United praised the students for their achievement. Students say they collected these animals to provide comfort to other children in crisis situations.
I like when people are excited, like when they're comfortable with their mom and dad. I don't like it when they're not happy.
Coming up, a company known for its cookies just received a nice payday after a big merger.
And today, a lot of blue skies as we went through our afternoon here in Fargo. Temperatures reaching the teens and 20s out to the west. Traffic starting to recover from an accident on 94 eastbound near the 25th Street exit. We'll have your forecast coming up right after this.